Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar, How to Optimize Sales and Mitigate Risk During Peak Sales Periods. My name is Sarah Roper and I am the moderator on today's webinar. I am also the Content Marketing Manager at TradeGecko. Also on today's webinar, we have Tanya, who is the Regional Sales Manager at TradeGecko. Jeffrey, who is the Joint Managing Director at SMB Consultants, and Heidi, who is the TradeGecko customer and the owner of Dirty Knees Soap Co. Now, Tanya and I will discuss how to maximize sales opportunities and minimize risk during peak sales periods. Tanya will also discuss how TradeGecko can enhance a business's inventory management process and how TradeGecko is easy to set up. Tanya, can you start off by talking us through the different types of peak sales periods businesses might face and significance of them?
Sure. So peak sales periods refer to the time of the day or a season during which the demand for products or services is at its highest. So it can be, seasonal periods like summer, winter, autumn, or it can be festive holidays and retail sales events like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, Boxing Day, Black Friday, etc. So if planned and marketed well, peak sales periods can bring in huge volume, especially for B2C businesses. So to give you an example, China-based Alibaba did over $25 billion in cross-merchandise value sales on Singles Day in 2017. Black Friday 2016 was a record-breaking year for online sales in the US with almost $3.3 billion spent online and about 18% increase on sales from 2015 period.
What are some of the risks or challenges businesses need to be aware of during this time?
So the biggest risk is not being well prepared in time to, number one, attract the customer demand to your store. And number two, missing out on timely fulfillment of that demand once you have it. So let me talk a little bit about attracting the customer demand. So, this is a competitive time of the year, but every business wanting to get customers through their door. If you're not planned with your marketing materials in time, you're going to miss the boat to a competitor. So now moving on to, fulfillment of this demand. You might not have visibility of your stock levels and therefore not be able to accurately forecast the demand so you can stock up for that period. Relying on manual systems to manage order taking, packing, fulfilling can also increase the risk of sending out wrong products, impacting your brand's reputation. Not having enough staff can also be something which is risky during this period because people might be on holidays and this can severely impact how you can meet the demand. Your delivery or fulfillment vendor can also drop the ball if you're not prepared and planned beforehand in meeting this large volume of orders. And lastly, if you don't capitalize on the sales you made in this period, it's a huge missed opportunity. In this period, you build a database of new customers, you understand what do they like, and you need to really make sure you have this data and you use it in future to market to these customers even after the peak sales period is over.
What are some suggestions on how businesses can prepare their business for peak sales periods?
Absolutely. So number one, I believe it's about stocking up beforehand. You need to have visibility on your stock levels and have the right level of inventory on hand so you don't run out of stock at a very critical time period. So getting a sense of your most popular items, talking to your suppliers and getting stocked up beforehand is really important for you to make sure there are no last minute surprises. The second one is definitely about enabling back orders. So even if you plan for your inventory levels perfectly, it's likely that you'll run out of stock for some popular items, right? So by enabling back ordering, you can allow customers to make orders even if you don't have a particular item in stock, therefore maximizing the opportunity for sales. So with TradeGecko's back order system, all back orders are collated and converted to a purchase order, which then reduces the need for manual ordering and improving customer experience, right? The third one I want to talk about is planning for your promotions. So virtually every business in the market at this time is ramping up their promotional efforts leading up to and during the holiday season. So it really pays to make sure your marketing plan is up to scratch. So, focus on your unique selling proposition, highlight any seasonal products that you might want to draw attention for the customers, limited offers, new product lines, everything needs to be ready, right? The next one's creating a seasonal budget. So budgeting for expenses ahead of time means you'll properly prepare for the holiday season and have a clearer picture of what your net profit will look like. So consider factors such as marketing campaigns you plan to undertake, any new staff hires, any improvements to products, or customer experiences you want to make before the holiday season begins. The next one, I would say defining your returns and exchange policy. The gift-giving season, as we all know, it should go hand in hand with, lots of returns and exchanges which come with large volumes. So this involves efficiently managing inventory levels and organizing a holding location for your returned goods so they can be examined before resale. The last one that I would say is mapping out your fulfillment workflow. Seamless product fulfillment is integral to a positive customer experience. And during the holiday season, it's especially important to have a smart fulfillment process in order to ensure customers receive their products on time. So, consider using third-party fulfillment systems like ShipStation, fulfillment by Amazon, and all these systems can handle the process really well end-to-end. And these systems also integrate with TradeGecko to streamline the entire sales process.
Can you tell us more about how inventory management systems like TradeGecko can help businesses maximize sales and mitigate the risk of peak sales periods?
Absolutely. So TradeGecko can help you to have visibility of your stock levels across warehouse locations so you can accurately manage your orders and fulfillment from these locations. We also help you to aggregate your huge volume of orders from different channels like your websites on Shopify or Magento, WooCommerce, Amazon, and all of your wholesale orders all in one place together so you can easily manage your order fulfillment and your returns.
For those businesses that don't already have an inventory and order management system like TradeGecko, how long does it take to set up and get started on a new system?
For most businesses, TradeGecko is pretty much a plug-and-play platform, which you can set up in a few hours to a couple of days. It is easy to set up, it's pretty intuitive, and it's loved by small and medium businesses who usually are, we all know, short on time. So our founders had their own business at one point, and we completely understand all about the madness of this peak sales periods.
Do you have any other further suggestions on how business can leverage peak sales periods in their inventory management system in the future?
Yep, I do have a couple of points here. So forecasting is key. With smart systems in place for inventory management and tools to help you forecast the sales in the future, you'll be really well placed to make the next peak sales period even better. And the next one is using intelligence reports to plan for your sales and inventory. Nowadays, predicting holiday sales and planning for seasonal stock levels is really easy thanks to a rise of sophisticated inventory management systems. So TradeGecko can be used to view past sales by period or by location and accurately predict upcoming sales trends. So this means you can glean a lot of useful information about how much you'll sell this year, what you'll sell, and how much stock you'll need to have on hand. By analyzing sales data from previous years, holiday periods to make your predictions, you'll ensure there are no last-minute surprises leaving you out of stock.
Wow, that's great, Tanya. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Jeffrey. We are happy to have you here today on our call. Can you please tell us about SMB Consultants? What does your company do?
SMB Consultants is an Australian-based company that is the byproduct of the availability of cloud integration. And basically, we are specialists in understanding all of the different software packages that are needed to run a business and inherently choosing the packages that are going to manage a business as a whole, leveraging the benefits of integration.
Can you please tell us more about cloud integration technology? Also, how does it enhance a company's management system?
Since the rise and the accessibility of cloud integration in the last 3 to 4 years, it's really given small businesses a new way to manage their business management systems. Rather than having separate siloed business management systems, they can actually leverage cloud integration to streamline the way that a business manages administration, operations, sales, channels, all the way through to purchasing and manufacturing, and all the way through to fulfillment. And it really gives a small business the competitive advantage to be able to manage the way they use these products, inherently integrating with one another to streamline the way the data flows from one package to the next. But what it has done is also created landscape to look at the architecture, I guess the necessary pieces that they need to connect together to leverage the benefits. So we basically help businesses navigate their way through all of the different platforms that are required. And I think TradeGecko's main benefit is the ability to act as this central hub for where all of these different add-ons can connect to. So you're really using TradeGecko as a hub for managing all the different sales channels that are available for a business owner today that weren't available 3 to 4 years ago. So their sales channels may be through a B2C website, it may be a B2B portal, they could sell through marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy or eBay, and they can bring in those sales channels in, maybe even through an iPad at a trade show or through sales agents, and have one central place to manage all of their orders in one place, and then decide on how they're going to purchase that stock, whether or not they're going to forecast and purchase it in advance or have a back order workflow, and then managing that all the way through the supply chain through to fulfillment, and having different avenues for managing fulfillment. So they could ship directly to the customer, they could use shipping integrations through Shipit or ShipStation. They could also use 3PL logistics providers to manage their fulfillment. So really is entering a new stage where technology is providing a lending hand to the small to medium business in the way that they can manage these functions using technology.
Now that we know more about your company, I have a two-part question for you. How does cloud integration add value to a business? And how can it increase efficiencies during the peak sales period?
Cloud integration really adds value because it eliminates a lot of administration work from double entering information between two systems. So even if we were to look at two very simple processes, which is like managing products that are for sale online, by centralizing the products in TradeGecko and having the ability to publish those products online, saves an enormous amount of time, as well as downloading the orders to manage the inventory. It allows you to eliminate the double entry that would normally be done within a business. Secondly, the other big integration that saves a lot of time is integration to the accounting package. Having the integration to the accounting package gives a company better real-time visibility on where their stock position is, and allows them to recognize stock movements in their chart of accounts real time, which currently previously wasn't available before. So giving a business real-time information across information systems gives a business owner a real competitive advantage in today's world. So during sales periods, high peak sales periods, what it does for a business is it reduces the overall administration time within the business, so they can focus on doing more things like forecasting from the data that they receive using the system, planning promotional campaigns that will help drive sales interest back through to the business, publishing promotions through social media networks that again will drive sales through multiple sales channels, which is effectively going to help them manage these peak periods and the volume of business that they forecast much more effectively.
How does SMB Consultants work with TradeGecko?
We work with TradeGecko as almost an extension or as a partner of TradeGecko to help their customers make the process of onboarding and also connecting to all of the different add-ons that are required so that a business owner can maximize and leverage all the benefits that cloud integration has to offer. So each business is unique and individual, and we specialize in trying to be a one-stop shop to a business owner that's going to help them plan and look at the big picture in terms of how TradeGecko can be used within their business to manage and implement workflows, perhaps in different ways to the way that they're used to working within software. So we act as a consultant to partner together with TradeGecko, and we can also assist with a lot of the planning that goes into the change management to migrate a customer from their existing systems into the new systems. We can help with the migration of the data, assisting in training the staff and supporting the client, not just with TradeGecko, but also with all of the add-ons that help support the TradeGecko ecosystem or stack of apps. So that could include e-commerce, B2B, marketplace integrations, accounting integrations, shipping and fulfillment integrations. It really looks after the entire ecosystem of add-ons that will make TradeGecko a very, very powerful business management tool.
Based on what you've seen, Jeffrey, what is the typical cloud adoption process like, and how quickly can a business get set up and started on a system like TradeGecko?
Well, I think the beauty of cloud integration is the fact that it actually has moved business systems into an agile type of model, as opposed to be a centralized model. So a lot of ERP systems prior to cloud integration weren't able to, you had to use one system to manage your entire business. So that piece of software was very heavy, was very highly configurable, and the time to really get up and running with that ERP system was very expensive and long-tailed. Cloud integration really makes software a lot more accessible and the time to onboard much quicker, because you can really break down the strategy, the implementation strategy down into different stages or different parts. So one of the things that we do for a business is to look at what the big picture is and have a game plan in place, but to prioritize what is the quickest and most sensible or highly prioritized add-on that we want to implement that's going to give the business the most amount of value. So we could start with TradeGecko and implement that, as Tanya said, within a couple of hours to a couple of days, and get that up and running very quickly so that the business sees immediate value, and then look at that and say, well, what is the next add-on that we want to do? Do we want to focus on accounting because that'll solve problems within the business, or maybe we want to get the e-commerce platform plugged in? We can really work together with the business owner to strategize and prioritize what are the most important things that need to be done and in the time frame that they have available to implement that.
What recommendations do you have for SME businesses during the holiday season, and how can a business optimize their sales using cloud technology?
My recommendations is that if they have an inventory management system, it's really going to help them streamline the way they can manage their sales, purchasing, and fulfillment workflow. And once they have a system like that in place, it will allow them to have the metrics and the reporting, not just the historical reporting, but the reporting that they'll need to do the proper forecasting. So as their business continues, they'll be able to make better buying decisions moving forward. And I think in today's world, where we live in a very real-time fashion, where we have to be able to make very quick decisions, having a good inventory management system that ties into all the other systems they need to run the business is critical to making sure that they're running the business as effective as possible and not overextending the wages that they're spending on wages that could be optimized using cloud integration. So I think the best advice I can give is to put something in earlier rather than later, so that you can have all of the metrics in place to manage your stock and to see the sales and the orders that need to be fulfilled, so that you can manage them more effectively moving forward.
Wow, very interesting, Jeffrey. Thanks for sharing. I will now move on to my Q&A with our customer, Heidi. Hi Heidi, thanks again for joining us on this webinar. I would now like to ask you some questions about your company, your experiences with TradeGecko, and how you prepare your business and optimize on sales during the peak sales period. Firstly, can you please tell me a bit about your company? What is Dirty Knee Soap Co. and what inspired you to start the business?
Yeah, I'd be happy to share. I started the company when my kids were pretty young, and I quickly became aware of what's in products. And I got tired of deciphering all the ridiculously long ingredient lists. It was almost as if you had to have a scientist in your pocket every time you went to the store. So my goal was to create quality products with a limited amount of ingredients that I felt good about my family using. And I believe that the maximum number of ingredients in any of our products is 8 right now.
Wow, that's great. What are the busiest sales periods for your business and how do you prepare for them?
You know, we're busy year round. Our products are a daily use type of product, so people are purchasing year round. But like most businesses, sales certainly do increase around the holidays. And to prepare, in early fall, we typically do a really solid review of our stock, including our finished products, our raw materials, our packaging, our shipping boxes, etc. And then, of course, we review our marketing materials and develop a marketing schedule.
How do you maximize your sales both during and after peak sales periods?
We do a few different things. We create a little pre-sales excitement, which also reminds our customers and followers about our products. And this year, for example, we did a little VIP early discount weekend for customers that had placed a specific number of orders with us and spent a certain amount of money with us as well. And it also, you know, is a good chance for us to remind them that our products also make great gifts. And typically during the holidays, we also offer deals that we don't do during the year, as do many retailers. But we look at that as not only the quintessential Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday deals, but it's a way for us to give back to our loyal customers that placed orders and refer others to us year round. After all, we wouldn't be here without them. So customer care for us is a huge piece of our business. Each order that goes out has a handwritten thank you of some sort in it. And we read all of our notes included with orders. For example, one customer actually mentioned something about fishing. I don't remember what it was in reference to, but when we sent his order out, we included a little hand-drawn fish on his thank you note, you know. So, and of course, we make sure to respond to customer inquiries promptly and thoroughly. And then after the peak sales periods, we don't just sit back and relax. We keep in touch with our customers via email, social media, and we often send out another coupon code or offer as sort of a thank you or a did you forget something, or just in case you need anything else. Because as you know, if you're anything like me, you get to the store, you go for one thing and you completely forget that thing and then pick up other things. So it gives us one more way to connect with our customers as well.
What challenges does your business face during your peak sales season and how do you overcome them?
You know, to be honest, having our solid review of everything early fall before we you know, go ahead with the holiday stuff. Thanks to TradeGecko, we don't really have a lot of challenges during our holiday season. We get busy, but that's about it. So,
how has TradeGecko helped your business during peak sales periods?
You know, with TradeGecko, I have a clear view of exactly what we have in stock. I can seamlessly manage both our wholesale orders, our retail orders, all in one place. And being able to connect TradeGecko to our other services, such as our accounting, our online store, and our shipping software, we're not having to transfer information anymore, which inevitably ends up resulting in errors down the road. So everything is transferred automatically, and it's right where it should be, exactly when we need it.
How did you manage your inventory and orders before TradeGecko?
You know, we use what we call the SWOS method, which is see what's on the shelf. And as you can imagine, we had more than a few moments of, oh my gosh, we're running out of this, or I can't believe we're completely out of this. So it wasn't unusual for that SWOS acronym to sometimes include a few choice words now and then either. But needless to say, it didn't work very well.
When did you first realize you needed an inventory management system, and why did you choose TradeGecko?
We started working with a large national chain just before the holidays last year. And as somebody who has their hands into every aspect of this business, I knew there was no way I could keep track of that order along with all of our other retail and wholesale orders using that old SWOS method. So we chose TradeGecko because it integrated well with our other systems, and their customer service was awesome and got the job done. And it honestly just made my life one heck of a lot easier.
Overall, how has your experience been with TradeGecko, and would you recommend TradeGecko to other businesses?
I would absolutely recommend it. And to be honest, I only wish I had done it sooner. It's been worth every penny. And I still remember the overwhelming feeling of relief that I had after I entered our first wholesale order into the system. I sat back in my chair and I was just like, whoa, this is awesome. I couldn't believe it took us so long to do this. I would encourage anyone that's on the fence, especially somebody who has their hands into every aspect of their business, just like a lot of small business owners do, to just ask themselves what their sanity is worth, because it certainly saved mine.
And lastly, what's next for Dirty Needs Soap Co., and how can we learn more about your company?
We're continuing to grow on a daily basis. We're working on some exciting marketing materials for 2018, new products, and we can't wait to continue to just connect with our customers as we grow. All of our products are actually the direct result of customer feedback and suggestions, and we are looking forward to continuing with that tradition. So we can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Dirty Knees Soap, and we can be found online at dirtykneessoap.com.
Wow, that's great, Heidi. Thanks for sharing. I think we can all agree with the peak sales periods is a great opportunity to maximize sales if the right preparation process and inventory management system is in place. I would like to make a special thank you to Tanya, Jeffrey, and Heidi for joining us on this webinar. I would also like to thank the audience. I hope you enjoyed this webinar and will join us again next time. If you are interested in learning about TradeGecko, please check out our website or contact our customer support team.